So today's video is going to be a continuation on the last BATTLBOX. I'm going to be talking about a couple things, discussing some of the comments, and just kind of giving more of an opinion after the fact, you know. The first thing I want to mention is that when I do an unboxing of anything, it's new. I have no idea what's in the box. I do not research what's in these BATTLBOXes. I have no idea. It is a genuine reaction. None of my videos are scripted. I just turn the camera on and you guys experience something with me. So oftentimes you'll see me fumbling with something because I don't know how it works. I don't know what it is yet. You know, 10 out of 10 times, if I don't know what something is, I'll research it after the fact. But that's long after the camera's gone, and you guys don't get to see that part of it, you know? This last BATTLBOX had a lot of like next level medical equipment. Okay, this is not, you know, a couple band-aids and some gauze. Anyone can put a band-aid on a scratch, you know, or wipe it down with an alcohol pad or something. It's not that. This is like some triage stuff that you really do need training, and a lot of the comments were basically pertaining to that, you know. And as I mentioned in the video, is that it could actually be counterproductive if you don't know what you're doing and you try to attempt to use some of this equipment on someone. If you do it improperly, you can actually hurt them, or they can die as a result from improper, you know, help, basically. In today's day and age, everyone's sue crazy, you know, so even if you're actually genuinely trying to help someone, if you do it wrong and you make it worse, you're probably going to get sued. Even if you help them out, they might sue you. You know, it's a crazy world we live in. I had a conversation a couple years ago with someone. It was my friend who witnessed a car crash, and they said, you know, they explained the story, and I'm like, oh, did you go help? And they gave me like a weird face, and they said, no, definitely not. And I was kind of puzzled. I'm like, well, why? Why didn't you go help them? You witnessed this car crash. And they explained to me, look, if I, you know, take someone out of a car and try to save them, and they have a neck injury, and now they're paralyzed because I moved them, that's a big problem. And it kind of made me second guess myself, because I genuinely think that if I saw someone who needed help, I would help them. In the moment, I might not care about lawsuits and all that kind of stuff. If I feel like I could help someone in a bad situation, I would. You know, it's just something that I would do. I think most people would do that, but it's kind of messed up to think, yeah, now I'll second guess myself. If I do see a car accident in the moment, I might wonder, should I be helping? Should I just wait for the professionals to come? You can make things work. In that particular case, that's a great example. Someone could have a massive neck injury or back injury or something, and by you taking them out of the car thinking you're helping them, you could be making that worse. So who knows? So a lot of people have that attitude of leave it to the professionals, and I can't really disagree with that. Those people are trained to handle those situations. I guess the best you can do is just try to contact them and get them there as soon as possible. But, you know, that's kind of the gist of this video, is to say that, you know, I agree with a lot of the comments. If you are not trained to use this kind of equipment, you should definitely not be playing around with it. And you should also not be wasting room and stocking it in your medical kits if you don't know how to use it. Okay, like I said, anyone can load up on Band-Aids and gauze and Neosporin. But when you're talking about, you know, tourniquets, that's a great example. Tourniquets, misused, horrible. They could save a limb. They could save a life. You know, stop bleeding and stuff. You could save someone's life with a tourniquet. But if you don't know how to use it, it's not going to be helpful to anyone. You could be hurting someone. So that's the first part, is I do agree. You do need training for some of this stuff. And you need to have a good understanding of how things work. Like these halo seals, I didn't know what that was. I was totally schooled on that. Thank you very much to everyone who commented. You know, now I know. So basically, like a lot of this gear, I actually was contacted by someone who was in the medical field and can use some of this stuff, and I'm sending it to them. That's it. Certain things I'm not stocking, you know, for myself, because again, I'm not trained with it personally. I don't have the interest for certain things, you know, training on certain stuff. Maybe in the future, if I have the time, you know, I would love to take, you know, an EMT type course or some kind of medical class to treat gunshots or something like that. It'd be very fascinating, very interesting. So anyway, I just want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who, you know, gave me feedback, who taught me some things about some of this gear. I really appreciate it. I really do. But just as an FYI, a lot of this stuff that I'm not trained with will be passed on. I already have someone who I'm sending some stuff to who could use it, who's in the medical field and would have a need for this type of stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not going to start carrying gear that I don't know how to use. It's one of the worst things I guess you could do. You know, I mean, even like a gun. Take a gun, for example. If you carry a gun, you should practice with it. You should know how to use it. Just carrying it is better than nothing, but same scenario, if you don't know how to use it, you can make the situation much, much worse. So just like you would practice with your guns to get good with them, same thing. If you're carrying a very advanced, next level medical kit, you should know how to use every, piece of gear in that kit. So very good comments, very good feedback, and very important to know. A couple other things to comment on. I think 2 or 3 people commented on the steel for the knife, which, by the way, not a lot of people like that knife, and myself included. Initially, I wasn't very impressed with it. I liked the rubber grip thing. That was about the coolest part of it. But just in handling it more, it was just uncomfortable. The Phillips head screwdriver feature, as well as the flathead, I think is very limiting and just makes it that much more uncomfortable. I already actually traded the knife off for something else, which you guys will see in the future. But the person getting the knife is very interested in it, and they will use it in their profession. So I'm glad, someone will be able to use it. But yeah, like the comment on the steel. Like, how do you not know the steel? Aren't you a knife reviewer? I just didn't see it. It's that simple. When I'm doing these videos, I'm looking through a viewfinder. Sometimes I miss things. I'm not perfect. But yeah, that specific knife had an N690. It said it right on the blade. I just didn't see it. As far as the blood type patches, this is very interesting. It's something I never really gave a lot of thought to, and I had a couple people respond. And I really greatly appreciate the response because it completely changed my mind about them. It's something, as I said in the video, I always wanted. I always wanted one so I could put my blood type, on my bag or whatever in case there's an emergency. It might be helpful. And what a lot of people pointed out is that those are 100% useless because of insurance policies, because, again, of lawsuits. If you're in a bad situation and you're bleeding, any medical help that's going to come to you is not going to rely or trust on that information. You can have it tattooed on your arm, but that technician is going to do their, follow their protocol. You're going to take the blood type, take the test or whatever to see what type of blood to give you, if you even need a blood transfusion. And I believe someone said that O negative is good for anyone. So like that's protocol. That's what you do. You give this blood, and then once you get testing, at the hospital or whatever, and they find out what blood type you are, then they can give you the appropriate type. But just having that little patch literally means nothing. So that was fascinating. That's something else that I learned that I never really gave a lot of thought. I thought it was a cool idea, but apparently it doesn't do anything. Just makes you feel good, I guess. Those might be better suited for in the field, military type situations. Maybe that's what it is. That's where those, shine. But as a civilian, means nothing, totally unhelpful. So that was, again, something I learned. I learned a lot just from that one video, just from, a few comments here and there. I learned some things. So thank you very much for some of the education. I appreciate it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to make a video thanking you guys, talking about some of this stuff more. I did want to stress the fact that it's very important to not use gear you're not familiar with, specifically medical gear. You can, and in some cases will, make the situation much worse by not giving proper medical care. You're better off just letting that person wait for a professional. And if you are interested in being helpful, then yes, training, just like anything else, educating yourself and getting, official training would be definitely beneficial to you. So that's pretty much it. It is interesting, as some people point out, that something like a BATTLBOX that goes out to so many people out there, that they would do some stuff like something like this, where a lot of people aren't trained. You know what I mean? It'd be good as a specific separate box that just, medical technicians could purchase, something like that. But to give some of these items out to just, random people that are interested in gear was a little bit weird. I think I agree with people. I would have preferred to see like a buttload of gauze and stuff like that, So yeah, I agree. I agree with a lot of the feedback on that one. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Of course, your comments are always welcome down below to further this discussion. But that's pretty much the sum of it. I just want to say thanks for educating me on some stuff, and that I do agree. In a lot of respects, I agree with what a lot of people said. So that's all. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.